Good evening. This is Sri Primo with a quick recap of the massive showdown between India and Pakistan in the Champions Trophy tournament in Dubai. In a very high stakes clash between the neighbors, India delivered a huge victory, almost a clinical performance to defeat their arch rivals by 6 wickets. Um, Thanks to an amazing 100 by Virat Kohli and India's excellent bowling attack, restricting Pakistan to 241 runs when they batted first. So let's quickly talk about this. Virat Kohli, amazing player, 51st century. I was one of many to call for his retirement after his poor performance in Australia in the Test series. And he did have a pretty decent series in against England, but he's not been himself. But today, anytime he plays Pakistan, he brings his A game, and he really proved to all the billions watching that he still has got his game against in a big game against like Pakistan. So let's quickly talk about this. India's now on top of the standings with 4 points, but Pakistan's second loss has left them on the brink of elimination. A lot of things need to happen. India needs to beat New Zealand. Um, Pakistan needs to beat Bangladesh by a huge margin. So there's a lot of things, and then of course New Zealand has to play Bangladesh, and New Zealand beats Bangladesh. I think it's curtains down for them. But let's get to this match. Right now, if you look at it, India has dominated the recent Indo-Pak clashes, but there are a lot of things that went wrong for Pakistan. But let's quickly get to the Pakistan innings. They decision to bat first after winning. It appeared to be going well with both Babar Azam and Imam ul Haq steady providing a very steady start. But with the change over with Hardik Pandya coming in, he had a beautiful outswinger, sharp outswinger that Babar Azam was able to edge to KL Rahul. That kind of triggered the mini collapse. But then you had Imam ul Haq. One of the things that Imam ul Haq struggles with is running between the wickets. And when Akshar Patel had a direct hit from mid on to run out Imam, that compounded Pakistan problems, reducing them to 47 for 2, 11th over. So basically, after a steady start, they could not really put on runs, and then after 11 overs, just scoring at 4 a clip is not going to do anything good. But anyway, Mohammad Rizwan and Saud Shakil then studied the ship a little bit, stitched a 104-run partnership, but they were very overly cautious. By the 20th over, I was looking at some stats. They had already played 79 dot balls, managing one boundary in like about 32 delivery stretch. Their inability to accelerate allowed the Indian spinners to dictate the terms, with both Akshar Patel eventually breaking the stand by cleaning up Rizwan in the 33rd over. The middle order then started to kind of crumble under pressure, with Ravindra Jadeja dismissing Tayyab Tahir and Hardik Pandya removing Shakil. So with that, Kuldeep then struck twice in his 45th over, dismissing Salman Aga and Shaheen Afridi in consecutive balls. Pakistan was now at 199 for 8. But then Kushtil Shah and you had even Harris Rauf provide, provided some fireworks and lifted Pakistan past 240. But the key there was that while Shami was hit for two sixers by Harris Rauf, Harshit Rana was very, very disciplined. It almost like he bowled like two slower balls. I think the first and the third slower ball, it was almost like at 116 miles. So it was a beautiful bowling by Harshit Rana, claimed Kushil's wicket. That ended Pakistan innings at 241 runs. When we talk about India, India actually had a total of 242 to chase in the full allotted 50 overs. one thing I was thinking about, or even some of the commentators were saying, was the pitch was playing much slower. India actually, fielding was good, but they did drop a couple of catches. Um, Not easy, but these things are the ones that decide the match in a very crucial game like that. But then with India, the chase started with Rohit Sharma and Shubman Gill at the crease. Rohit Sharma definitely went on a rampage. Started with a four and he started with a six and two fours, and he started the attack very efficiently. But Shaheen Afridi, um, he's continued to bleed runs, but this was a beautiful Yorker, dismantled Rohit stumps. But then Shubman Gill was then joined by Virat Kohli. But then Gill took on the mantle of accelerating the runs, and some of the strokes that Gill hit were just purely magical. Just a straight drive, a cover drive, a few of them, and continued to really enthrall the fans who had come to watch them and also those watching on TV. Kohli played a perfect foil, and then Shubman Gill had was going great. As we know, we had 100 before. He was playing really well, 46 of 52. But then he fell to Abrar's Ahmed a carom ball in the 18th over. So he really deserved his 50, but give credit to the bowlers. The two wickets that India lost, both of them were beauties. One a Yorker and the other one was a carom ball. Then at 93 for two, Kohli was joined by Shreyas Iyer, who's actually been playing really well. And then in this case, both Iyer and Kohli both had excellent running between the wickets, rotating the strike. Uh, Shreyas was excellent. His fluent stroke play, especially against the spinners, and then balanced Kohli's anchor role. Kohli actually reached 14,000 one-day runs, and it's a great achievement. I believe there's only two other players who have done that. One is Sachin Tendulkar, the other one is Sangakkara. I need to check that, but Kohli did reach 14,000 runs in 63 fewer innings than Sachin Tendulkar. It's an amazing testament to his consistency, his ability to stay healthy, and his ability to bounce back from poor games. Iyer was playing really well, but between that, one thing I did want to comment was Pakistan's inability to catch um, very crucial catches that could have really swung the game in their way. Um, One was dropped by Kushtil, I think the other one was dropped off Kushtil. So those are two major chances that Pakistan had against India. But then coming back to the game, after Iyer departed, thanks to a great catch by Imamul Haq, I thought the ball was going to the boundary, but Imam made an amazing catch. But then Kohli and was joined by uh, Hardik Pandya, but Hardik didn't really last much. But by the time Hardik fell, it was just a matter of time that India would win this match. But then the most important thing was, can Kohli get to his century, which he did when he had a winning boundary of Haris Rauf, not only sealed the game, but also marked his 82nd century across all formats and 51st in the one day international. So this is something that I've been on despite Kohli's not performing well lately. But Kohli had a great chase. He's had 108 fours and two sixers, and it actually tied him with Ricky Ponting on the all-time list. And the one other thing that I did want to mention was when India was actually dropping a couple of catches, easy catches, Kohli did have a great day at the field. He did have a 157th catch, surpassing Mohammad Azudreen. So there you go with his fielding as well. From an Indian standpoint of bowling, I did want to call out a couple of things. Kuldeep Yadav, 3 for 43, including wickets on consecutive balls. They did destabilize the Pakistan lower order, while Hardik Pandya had two wickets for 31. Definitely great seam bowling. And then Akshar Patel was very economical, 1 for 38. And Jadeja also had like a great over as well. But for Pakistan, the bright spots are Saud Shakil had 62 and Kushtil late flourish at the end were the lone positives. Shaheen Afridi's, again, he had an early strike against Rohit, but their lines, all the seamers lines for Haris Rauf, Naseem Shah, and also for Shaheen Afridi, they were not on target and really enabled Indian batsmen to feast on the bowling. India, like I said, they had good sharp fielding. At least 15 to 20 runs were saved. Pakistan fielding, a lot of missed opportunities, very costly. But then the other thing is that when you look at the batting, Pakistan had a very conservative approach. Um, they were only scoring at 2.8 runs per over between overs 11 and 30, and that really allowed India to rotate the bowlers very fast, especially against Akshar and Jadeja, who actually bowled pretty well, gave up only 71 runs in 16 overs. Um, so with that, Pakistan definitely um, a lot of their road ahead right now. When I look at it, India sitting comfortably, 4 points net run rate. India need a win against New Zealand to secure a berth, but the loss could complicate their path depending on other results. But India right now is sitting pretty. But again, for Pakistan, their net run rate is a negative 1.087, which means that they have to win massively against Bangladesh and have favorable outcomes everywhere else. Um, Again, Pakistan never count out Pakistan, but again, the thing is that their path to the semifinals just became a little harder. Now, if New Zealand does win, let's think about it. Like, what were the matches tomorrow? We have the Bangladesh and New Zealand. If New Zealand does win that match, that would put both New Zealand and India at 4 points each, which means that it doesn't matter to the Pakistan and a Bangladesh match, and then India and New Zealand would be just playing for the 1 and 2 spots, which is pretty crucial because, and then you also have a very crucial matchup between Australia and South Africa on Tuesday, and that could determine who could be the number one seed there. So between Australia, South Africa, England, and between Australia, South Africa, India, and New Zealand, these are the four teams right now which are sitting in a very good spot. Now, South Africa beating Australia would put them in a good spot, but then Australia would have to play against Afghanistan. And then you have Afghanistan and England. So it's a very critical match for England and Afghanistan as well on Wednesday. So going back to the India Pakistan, like I said, India, a comprehensive win, extended their 1 day dominance over Pakistan. They won 8 out of 9 since 2015. For Pakistan, as I said, conservative batting, lack of bowling variety, very poor line by the fast bowlers, poor fielding. Definitely seems to not bode well for Pakistan at this point. So with that, um, India sitting pretty. Pakistan, they just are right now sitting, hoping for a miracle between all the other matches right now. So if in New Zealand, they have to hope for Bangladesh to beat New Zealand and then go from there. But at this point, India in a good spot and Pakistan definitely not in a great spot. So with that, we wrap the India-Pakistan match. Excellent match for India, and good luck to all the other teams. So looking forward to the rest of the matches. Thanks again, and have a good night.